Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm back and today I'm going to be showing you how to make some fat hard trance using one plugin, Nexus2, and a bunch of free VSTs and other bits of software. Just to fast forward, this is what it's going to sound like. So if you want to hear how I made that, then stay tuned. So here's the project we are going to be using. At the moment there is no bass, so here's what it sounds like without the bass. Fairly straightforward, big ass kick, clap, ride, hi-hat. Gonna keep it simple, keep it basic for the state purposes of this video. This is just a sampler, there's no Nexus on there now, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add in where is it? Nexus2. And from here I'm gonna choose the hard style pack and the Disto Wave 1 option. First thing I'm going to do here, just a couple of changes. Switch off the amp modifier, switch off the reverb, switch off the delay. I'm going to switch on the master filter and I'm going to stick that to about 60. Okay, just like that. And then I'm going to go to the live panel. Oh no, sorry, the mix panel. I'm going to switch this off and put wet down to about 35. It's just so it doesn't sound too awful from the straight off here. Switch the gain all the way down. And before I play that, I'm make sure that there is a sidechain on here, or it will sound awful before I even press play. In fact, no, this is what it sounds like without anything else. Pretty gash. So here is, let's put on the sidechain gate. I'm going to use, for the purposes of this, shaper box. Volume shaper, and I have a nifty little preset that I created myself. I'm not sure which one it is. I seem to have created quite a few, so we just look at this one. Yep, that's the one. You can, of course, if you don't have this, you can use similar plugins. I did review some of these before. Armando Monate Simple Slide is my pick of the free plugins that are available. Or you can use Grossbeat, you can do that as well. But for the purposes of this, I'm going to use Shaperbox. So with the side chaining on, it sounds like this. Already less offensive. So the first thing I'm going to do is add some distortion onto this. So I'm going to use Camel Crusher. And that's going to, I don't want to load up the web page. Let's see. Let's just mute everything for the time being. Okay, that's instantly sounding better. Gives it a lot more body. Gonna move on to something that should add a bit more low end oomph to it. So where is it? Lovend. Okay, so another free one. Again, all of these plugins that are free, I will include links to where you can download them, where you can find them. And I'll obviously be sharing the project file as well at the end of the video. So by all means, check the link below. Let's have a quick listen to see what Lovend does. Don't want to do too much in like 60, that's just a bit too low for me, so let's see what 120 sounds like. Yeah, that'll do for now until we figure out, like, have more of an idea about what's what. The next thing I'm going to put on here is another kind of distortion. So let's go to distortion again. I'm going to go for the WaveFolder. I'll do what this sounds like. Oh no, that's why you just turn the drive down. about there for now. Next up has to be EQ. By now I probably should have put EQ in already, but I haven't done, so we're gonna chuck that EQ in right now. Put HQ on, high quality. Next, first thing we can do is cut out like the really low subs that you really just don't need, because you can't actually hear them. So let's see, we're gonna do that about 30, I reckon. We could start. Also clears out some headroom. I'm also going to lower some of the noise in the top end, so I'm just going to do a shell for that. There's a couple of resonant frequencies in there, so I'm going to try and find those and cut those out. And I think perhaps there's a little bit too much bass information in there somewhere, probably around the 60 Hertz mark, or give or take. So I'm just going to see if I can get rid of that as well. Okay, great. That's just a quick rough EQ. Let's see what it sounds like with the kick now. Just add the kick in. Better. It's getting there. Let's see what it sounds like with all the percussion as well. It's about halfway there. Sounds a little bit dull. I'm sure you agree. So we're just going to add a few more little bits to it before we're finished. So first thing I'm going to do is add some analog EQ in the shape of Sonimus. This is one of my favorite EQ plugins. It just sounds great and it's completely free as well. So I don't want to drive. First thing I'll do is see perhaps if there's more we can cut out the low end. So I do like the high and low pass filters on this plugin. Okay, another pass at 30. Let's see if there's more at 60 that can be taken out. I feel like 60 is kind of a frequency that the kick really kind of needs. So I'm just gonna take a little bit more out, attenuate a bit more out of this using the analog cut here. Let's see if there's anywhere I can add a little bit more gain in the midsection. It's up to about 5. And just a small EQ boost there, around 227. Put it on 250 instead, sounds a little bit better. Next thing I'm going to add would be a bit of saturation. Another free plugin. This one, where is it? Softube. It's one of those controversial one knob bad boys, but I think this sounds really good, especially in the as long as you have the keep low type on. Just have a listen to the difference that this makes. Really kind of brings that sound out. Here's what it sounds like with a kick. That really kind of gives you the sound for me. That's the Pierce to Resistance, gives you that kind of a really offbeat Germanic hard trance sound from the last, from about it was made famous basically in the early 2000s by certain producers who to this day are still absolutely amazing. So last thing I'm going to add just quickly is another EQ just to clean up the sound. Now, just to clarify something here before I do this, yes, I know I probably should have had compression by now, but I find compression is such a topic that everyone kind of differs greatly on. I'm gonna leave it out. Plus, I don't really think it massively needs it. Maybe a bit of dynamic compression with the TDR Nova or something like that. But for me, I think at this stage where you're just kind of trying to get a great bass sound, to sit with and work with a kick and percussion while you build out the track before you do any kind of mix down is all you really need to do at this stage. Plus, when it comes to compression, I'm much more in favor these days of bussing the kick and the bass together and using some kind of a glue compression to really glue the sounds in together in your drums bus. That's why I'm not doing compression, just in case anyone's like, oh, he hasn't added any compression yet. He must be an absolute novice. Yeah, I may be a novice, but I know what I'm doing in this case. So there's no compression for this time. Last thing I'm gonna do really is a little bit more of EQ. So for this, I'm gonna leave the bass in, because you know what they say, no one will hear your sound in isolation, and everyone will only hear the sounds in the context of the whole mix. So while I'm doing this, I'm gonna leave the kick and the bass going throughout while I do my EQ cuts and my EQ cuts. So here we go. And there you have it. That is a really quick way to make a German hard trance offbeat reverse bassline. As I said before, all of these plugins are completely free. I'll provide a link to this project should you wish to have it. The only things you really need is obviously Nexus2. I appreciate that not everyone has Nexus2, but a lot of people do. It's very popular synth these days, and I know that there's Nexus 3 out, and a lot of people are still using Nexus2. So I thought now would be the last chance to really kind of do this kind of video. I'll also try and save this patch, this Nexus patch, as a preset for those of you that don't have the hardstyle bank, so you can then just kind of use this customized patch to really kind of you know, get the best out of it so you guys can use it. Anyway, that's everything for me. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you learned something from this video, and I thank you for watching. I'll see you again soon.